So today we are going to quickly talk about some of the changes that have come to the map split. There isn't anything too crazy here, at least not what I can see so far. But yeah, we're just going to talk about them. Now later today I will be doing a video about the new map and also doing a stream on the new map as well. Those will be at about 5 p.m. GMT, so about a couple hours from when this is coming out, maybe an hour and a half from when this video comes out, somewhere in that range. So keep your eye out for that, and I hope to see you all there. But let's dive into some of the split changes and explain how this might impact the map. So this is A main. I'm sure many of you recognize it. And this is the old A main, and this is what the new A main is going to look like. So you can see we kind of widened this space out. We've added this little walkway here as well. For the attackers, and this is basically a change to allow the attackers to, essentially take this first bit of space a bit easier. The reason for that is because obviously you create a kind of different headshot angle, right? If you're standing on here, as opposed to down here, right, you're going to have a different head level, so it's harder for the defenders to know where your head height is going to be, which just makes it easier to swing this angle. As an attacker, maybe you can swing one high, one low, together, all of that stuff just makes it a bit harder to defend from the top of rafters there. So this space being a bit wider as well should mean that, any raise nade or breach aftershocks that come into here, right, are going to be less effective perhaps as well at dealing damage. So this first space is just going to be a bit easier to take. The next change we have is this part in A heaven here, and you can see this is what it looked like before, and this is the change. So they've altered where these stairs are, and again, this is just a simplification of the space. Again, I think making it a bit easier for the attackers, because back in the old days, right, when you were a defender, you could kind of stand at the bottom of this and have, basically only your head and shoulders kind of available to be hit, and you became less of a target, and you were basically using these stairs as cover. Now, obviously, attackers who, are swinging from back here towards heaven, you will be only on one space. You'll probably be by, someone close to this box to try and get cover pretty quick. So it's just, again, a bit easier for the attackers to kind of know where you're going to be and, just help the attackers, again, try and take this space a bit easier. Moving on to the A site, we have this change. This is what, again, it looked like before, and this is what it is changing into. You can see, obviously, they've just gotten rid of this little walkway here across. Again, just making it easier for the attackers, right, that when you first come out of A main here and come to swing this angle, you won't have to look high and low. There will only be low, right? No one can be up here anymore. So again, just like, taking away one of those positions that a defender could be in, and just again making it easier for those attackers to, basically know where you can and cannot be. Just again simplifying the space for the attackers to again just allow it to be a bit easier for those attackers to take. Now, if you imagine like a breach aftershock before may not have fully cleared everything up high, but now like if you put a breach aftershock in here, no one's gonna be there without dying. The next one is this, which this little platform here is going from that to just half of its size. I guess that this was a situation and a position that was used sometimes in like post plant scenarios when the spike would be planted on A, an attacker, maybe an omen, would come and teleport up here, right? And it would just make like the defender's job of coming down ramp maybe a bit harder, and so they just made this platform a bit smaller, maybe so you can just see less, right? So that you can't kind of like get an angle maybe on site or get a deep angle onto people coming down ramp. You just kind of have to just sit in this corner and you can see less. It's not a major change, this won't have too much impact, I think, but I guess that is the reason that they went for this change. Okay, moving on to the B site, we have this here. This little space is changing to this, so just like adding a little half wall instead. Honestly, I'm not really too sure what this change, like how big of a difference that will make really at all. I guess it means the angle, the sight lines are a bit cleaner. Maybe there's less of a surprise of a defender, just standing back here in this corner. You can't really see them until you come like all the way into the site. Now, obviously, like once you start getting a bit deeper into the site, right, you can start to have these gunfights and they won't be able to hide that. I guess that is probably the reason, again, just kind of making it a bit easier to clear all these angles, I guess. But this one feels like to me something that people probably won't expect straight away. I can definitely see, and we'll have to see how the angles exactly work out, but I can definitely imagine people running it onto site and not realizing that maybe, people standing here now can see you pretty clearly. The next one is this box here in heaven. This is what it used to look like, but now we have gotten rid of all this rubbish and this bin here. I'm guessing that this means, obviously, the only way you can get on top of this box now is from this side, and also the defenders now can't, like, you used to be able to crouch on this and create, again, a pretty difficult angle to deal with for the attackers, and so that's probably why they got rid of it. Again, just trying to help the attackers out. Because the attackers can still, come and crouch on this side of it and create a difficult angle for the defenders, but not the other way around. Just, again, trying to simplify it for the attackers to take this space. And then finally, the last change is this to mid, where we're going to get a very slight change here. And also, I think the stairs are slightly compressed. I don't know if I'm... This is very tight to see. It's like a small change there. But then I think the stairs have become slightly different. We've lost this kind of barrier thing on top of the stairs, and again, it's just been simplified. I can't really tell whether they're smaller or if the size has changed or not. Let me know if you think that there is a difference, but it's very minute either way. I don't really think it'll have a major difference overall, but yeah, there is a slight change here in mid. So those are the split changes. I'm interested to hear what you guys think. Seems like we've kind of just got little things that make it a bit easier for the attackers, particularly on that A site, which is interesting because I thought they'd change more the B site than the A site, but there you go. Seems like the A site is the one that's getting more of the bulk of the changes. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below, and I will see you later on for the new map as well and its big reveal.